Already technical difficulties. Am I up? Says I'm live. Hello? Dwayne says it's up. Cole says it's up. Alright, look at that. First time with no 10-minute delay. Gotta like that. Granted, I accidentally put someone in timeout, but that's the way it goes. Russell's here. He says we can start. So a big hello and Merry Christmas to everyone. Sounds great on the headphones. Awesome. I'm looking at getting a mic, but that'll be a little later. So anyone take advantage of the PetSmart sale yesterday? Crazy cheap 75-gallon aquarium. $2 a.m. Wow. Yeah, we did lose. Dwayne says, guess what I got my wife for Christmas? The 75-gallon tank. Kyle got one. Cole got one. Cole's got to be running out of room. $1 gallon sale at PetSmart or at Petco. I actually got the 75-gallon combo for Christmas, but I'm probably going to return it, to be honest. Just checking on my stream health here. Looks pretty good. What do you want for Christmas, Flynn? Is there a timer on post? There shouldn't be. Really? Let me check. I don't even know where to check that. Advanced settings? Automatically block spam messages, but that's... I don't know, it's not... so it's called slow mode. Limit chat posts to every 60 seconds. It's not enabled. Well, let me turn off this block spam messages and see what that does. Oh, I don't want you to shut up. I don't want it to happen to someone else. I don't even know that I've even looked at these advanced settings. Enable DVR? Sounds like something I should have going. There is no topic, Russell. You guys drive the show, whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm just here to hang out and talk fish with fish people. If you guys want to ask me questions, you can, but I'm certainly not Corey, so I don't have the answers to everything. Southern Fish Keeper says, why are you thinking of returning the 75-gallon combo? because it's made by Marineland, and I really dislike Marineland. I know way too many people who had Marineland tanks fail. So, not necessarily with the 75, but anything larger than that, they always seem to fail. So I don't really trust them. Melody Monroe, fish tank in the background would look good. I agree, and it'll probably happen. I just don't know what. I briefly thought about the 75 gallon that was on sale yesterday that I got, but I'm on a second floor, so if the seals failed on that, it would be an absolute nightmare. So I don't know, maybe something small. I have a 33 gallon long that I can use. Might do something with that. Dwayne says, it is under warranty, but it doesn't mean that it's not a pain to have to deal with 75 gallons of water on a second story. Let's go. Looks like chat's picking up, so I gotta stop and actually pay attention now. Okay, we'll start right around here. Flynn says, I want a 500 gallon with an MBU puffer. Not realistic. Yeah, I want an aquarium co-op goldfish shirt. Like this one? Oh no, that's not a goldfish. That's a betta fish. Never mind. Melody says, morning all. Wow, oh it is? I guess it would be Christmas for a lot of people right now. I should have called it a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day live stream. Danny says, in the Netherlands we keep an event around Christmas, then a few radio DJs go in a glass house and raise money for children. That would have been cool. I don't know how, can you even raise money on a YouTube live stream? That'd be kind of neat. There's a fan funding option, but I don't really know what that does. Oh, Richard James says I froze. Did I freeze anyone else? I don't see anyone else saying that. Well, I'm going to keep going because I don't see anyone else saying I froze. Mark says, hi Bob, my 12-inch common Pleco has a white spot. It's white spot on its underside. It's about the same size as a shirt button, flat and totally round. What is it and what will treat it? It's hard to say. It could just be a simple wound that's healed over. I've seen that on Plecos where some of my bristlenose will get a white spot when basically when they're mating and the male is on top of the female, and it'll kind of cause that, but it always heals up just fine as long as you have clean water. But if it's like a white spot that's protruding out, I would definitely start with like general cure, go from there. Stokes Aquatics is here. He says, sorry I'm late to the party, Christmas dinner. Yep. Danny says, only has less than a year to live, already raised $3 million. Wow. Brian says, I picked up some sort of Dario fish today. I'm not sure what kind. I always like mystery fish. Tommy X says, what is your favorite fish? Rainbow fish and Cyprichromis. Melody says 3-footer. I think I have enough room, actually, because remember, things are going to swap around when I get my tank up here. So I have... Oh, I could actually fit a 5-footer here. But that would be way too much water. I'll probably do like a 33 gallon long, I think, because it's not very heavy. Space is Dead says, do plants grow alright in sand? You know, I've seen it done, but it's not ideal. It's a little bit tougher on the roots. Russell Beach wants everyone's opinion on the best heater. My opinion, I don't think there is such a thing. I think they're all trash. Big Joe's Fish Room says, why don't you make a garage a fish room? Because I rent. It's not my garage. You could do a 40-gallon breeder back there. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. Booker67 says, "Hi Bob, do you have any shrimps with your rainbow fish? I have a mono shrimp, but nothing like Neo-wise. If you put them in as adults, they'd be all right because rainbow fish have really small mouths. But I think all the shrimplets would get eaten." Happy Festivus. Happy late Festivus. I think that was yesterday, right? Richard James says, "So Bob, what Pleco species have you bred?" Just bristlenose currently. I'm not really set up, or I don't have any fancy Plecos ready. I thought my leopard frogs would be ready, but I think they still need a little growing. Where is your Festivus aluminum pole? It's right here. See if I can. Uh-oh. That wasn't good. I just dropped my Festivus aluminum pole. Okay, not gonna try that again. Stokes says, "I did for a minute ago, but all good now. Must have froze for a minute." Alright, at least it's all good now. Jamie says, "Are the Seahawks going to cut their kicker?" Probably not. Everyone has slumps. He's been doing terrible like the last 5 weeks, but I mean, really, are there better kickers available? They all seem pretty bad this year. Flynn says, "How is the baby mystery snail doing?" Well, there's actually multiple of them, and they're actually, I think I have another batch that's hanging up right now, ready to go. So in case you don't know, mystery snails, they lay their eggs out of the water, and the first batch I actually took out and put in a little cup and with a bunch of, just kept it moisturized, but they all made it through. They all hatched or whatever, but then they all died because I forgot and didn't put any food in, and then I think I waited too long from checking up on them. So the next time I had a cluster, I left them in the tank, and they did just fine. So from now on, I'm just leaving them in the tank. Rurudu says, "Is it true people in Australia are upside down?" Yes. I think technically that would be true until you go to Australia, then people here would be upside down. Ducky007, "Hello, Merry Christmas, Bob. Merry Christmas to you." Jim Jobs, wants to know where I got my stargrass. I got it from someone in the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society, and I don't know where he got it. Sometimes you can find it on Aquabid if you're in the US. Big Joe's Fish Room says, "Besides a common Pleco, what's a good Pleco to keep in your 180-gallon tank?" I don't know what's in it. What's in there with it? Really, anything, depending on what else is in there. I want stargrass, but can't find it. Yeah, I don't know why it's really rare. I guess that's why it sells so fast every time I post it. Laszlo, "Hey, just got here. How's it going, Bob?" Going pretty good. Dwayne says, the 240. Everybody loves the 240. Not as much as me, trust me. I try to stay out of the garage as much as possible because I don't want to be reminded that it's in there. Bob, when are you going to start shipping to the lower 48? If you're talking about fish, it's probably not going to be till spring, but I've been shipping plants for a long time. Tyler says, "What would be your first shrimp setup? Kind of shrimp and tank and plants?" Well, my first was cherry shrimp. They're going to be the easiest thing for you. Plants, well, it depends. If you only have shrimp, you can do any plants you want, really. But they generally like to be colder, and plants, in my opinion, do better in cold water. So you're not really limited on anything if you go with Neos or cherry shrimp, orange shrimp, things like that. Cole Schramm says, "Get a heater controller." Yep, you could do that. But I wish they would just make heaters better. Why do I have to buy a product? Because the product I need is such trash that I have to buy another product to control the crappy product. Still talking, everyone's polishing their nails to raise money. Okay, I never would have thought that would work. Stoke says just vinyl everything and caulk it up. Well, sure. Might as well just put a pond in here then, right? Rurudu says I use Eheim Jaeger heaters. I do too, in the few tanks I use them, but if they're older ones, the good ones, before they're kind of sold out. Richard James says, yeah, even the Eheim heaters are overrated. I agree with the new ones. The new ones are garbage. Laszlo says, have you ever used black iron sand? Nope, have not. Tommy X says, have you ever kept autos and shrimps together? Yep, all the time. No problems. I've even bred autos, which I guess is technically a type of catfish like a Pleco, so if you want to group that together on types of Plecos I've bred. Flynn says, I gotta go. Hopefully we'll be back later. If not, Merry Christmas. See you later, Flynn. Thanks for stopping by. Looks like I'm almost caught up. Looks like Grumble made it past her 5 minutes. And I say her because I know who she is in real life. Intake sponge on canister. Reduce. What? Must be talking to someone else. Hey, still doing OV. And must be talking to someone else. Thomas Reed, Merry Christmas from Japan. That's awesome. I don't know that I've had someone say they're from Japan yet. I want to get like a world calendar and I can check off the countries that people say they're from. Go for Gold Nugget Pleco. That would be a good one for a 180. They get pretty good size. If you got bigger fish in there, they probably do well. Brian says, I picked up 2 female gold rams to go with my 2 males. Should I move one of the males to another tank? Depending on the size, I would leave them in there. That's kind of what I do with the pistos. So when I put just a male and female together and they're just by themselves, sometimes they won't breed, but I'll introduce another male and that'll make the original male kind of get his testosterone levels up and dance around. So it kind of helps out. However, if you're in a smaller tank, you might get some aggression. I would just watch it. If you have, if some of them obviously pair up, then you might want to move them out. But Lee, love the shirt, Mr. Bob. When you reorganize your fish room, do you think you'll turn a tank into a divided betta tank, or do you plan on getting more bettas in general? So I do want. I'm not a betta expert, but a Dumbo-eared placotte, is that a thing? With the crazy pectoral fins? That's kind of what I want. I really like those. That'd probably be the only other betta I get. Have you ever bred Timmy Tanks, have you ever bred Neolamprologus lelupi before? So I only have 3 of them, so I don't know if I even have, a pair or not. But I've never bred them. But I've never tried to either. But in general, they're pretty easy. Manuel says, I want to buy some Superchromas from you when you're ready to ship. If I have some available. They're really fragile, so that's why they're so expensive. If you ship them when they're too small, they tend to break their backs, break their spines. Where are you posting your plants at, i.e. Aquabid? Mainly Facebook when I can't sell them locally, but we have a really good local group here, so I prefer not to have to ship them just because it's easier. Tyler says, have you ever built your own tank, and if not, why? I have not built my own tank, and I think I'd really like to do a plywood or just a huge tank in general if I ever built one, and I just don't have the space for it right now. Anthony says, oops, I just bought a new Jaeger. Well, they're still probably better than average. They're just not as good as they used to be. I suggest the pond, not me. Yep. Danny says, I can't keep shell dwellers. My local fish store doesn't have them, and online they are expensive. Can your local fish store order them? Maybe. Although they don't even come around to order here very often, so I don't know. Might not be very popular where you're at. What else? So if you're not going to do shell dwellers, then what are you going to do? In case you don't know, Danny's Aquarium, awesome channel. He just got 2 new fish tanks he's setting up, trying to decide what to put in them. Mason says, Merry Christmas from Florida. Is your water hard or soft? It's really soft. Hi from UK. It's quiet. Oh, it's quite late here, but I just finished some karaoke. Loving the videos. Merry Christmas. Well, thank you, and Merry Christmas to you. I like going to karaoke, but nobody likes it when I karaoke, which is understandable. What do you know about the candy cane tetra? Well, I've never kept them, so just basically what you can read online. Kyle's Wild World says, Hey Bob, today I found a dark, almost black Jack Dempsey in with the jacks. I think it's an electric blue. It might just be stressed out. Really hard to say. Tyler says, where online is a good spot to get good rainbows? Aquabid or joining rainbow groups on Facebook. Laszlo says, what pseudomugil do you own and have you ever bred them? The pseudomugil furcatus and the one that I don't remember. I never remember the name of it. I don't know why. I bet it's probably going to be the first one that pops up on Google. No, the first one is the Illuminatus because that's what I was just looking for. It's the most common one that everyone has. Lee says, Dumbo ear placots are absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I got the name right. Yep, that's what I want. Tommy says, got to go now. Catch you later on LR Brett's. I messaged him to see if he was still streaming since it's New Year's Eve, but he never messaged me back, and I don't know where my phone is. Otherwise, I would just text him. No, still hasn't messaged me back. Lee Young says, what are my views on wild-caught fish? I think it's a necessity because on most of the in most of the countries, that's like their main export. So if we didn't buy them, you'd have just entire populations going into poverty, even more so than they already are. Melody says, gotta go, Christmas dinner, lunch, barbecue. All right, Melody, have fun. Thanks for stopping by. 180 gallon I went on eBay for $100 with canister and a 300 watt heater. Wow, $100 on eBay of all places? I don't think I've ever looked for an aquarium on eBay. Mason says, having some natural soft water must be nice. It's all hard lime rock aquifer water in Florida. Yeah, I think I would actually prefer your water, but if I was in Florida, I would probably say exactly what you're saying. Anthony says, have you ever set up that large tank you got from Corey? The 240 gallon is still in my garage, not set up. Everyone's always got to remind me about that tank. What is the law in Washington regarding keeping native species? I live in Ontario, and it's illegal to keep or transport native species. It is illegal to take wild animals and bring them home. Same with plants. Mason says, Mason Brando, any experience with killifish, Bob? Yeah, that's one of my horror stories, but I find for how expensive they are and they have such a short lifespan that, yeah, they look awesome, but it's an expensive fish that only lives like 2 years. Well, I mean, some can live a lot longer, but all the ones around here are just like the 3 years. That's all they live. Jack says, a guy local has zebra plecos for 50 bucks each and thinking of snagging me a few. Have you ever kept them? I have 6 of them right now. and if I could get them for 50 bucks, I would buy every single one of them. Species Unknown says, I got one of the 75 gallon from PetSmart last night. Awesome. Kyle, what happened to your channel? Uh-oh, now I gotta look. I was just on there not too long ago. What's going on with the channel? Hopefully nothing. Oh, you took it down? Are you kidding me? Sure did. This channel is closed and no longer available. What's the deal with that, man? Gotta be a story behind that, right? Yes, LR Brett's is live tonight. I know it says that he's live, but sometimes he doesn't show up. Just saying, Lucas. Just saying. Roger says, a 20-gallon long, big enough for a sole male angel. Probably. Is it ideal? Probably not. A 20-gallon tall would probably be better. Will you do a saltwater tank with one of the big ones in your garage? No, I don't want to do a big saltwater tank. I would do a smaller one if I did one. Saltwater shrimp looks amazing. That would be the only reason I started a saltwater tank, is for invertebrate. Laszlo, have you ever kept or owned L133s? I have, but I sold them. I only had them for maybe 4 months, and then somebody really, really wanted them and made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So, hey Bob, is doing a tank for profit really worth it when you're talking guppies and Java moss? Yes, absolutely. I find it amazing on how many guppies and Java moss will always sell instantly. It grows so slow, you're never gonna run out of Java moss. But everyone buys guppies, man. Everyone. Yeah, so Stokes says you can order sunfish. I think she said she was in Canada, so I don't know if they have things like that up there. But yeah, I can buy native fish and put them in a tank. I just can't go out to a lake and then put them in a fish tank, gather them and put them in. Kyle says, I'm changing a few things and figured better sooner than later. Are you going to have the same channel name, or is that changing too? Because right now it's still there and you can still restart it under the same name. Jim Job says, saltwater is overrated. I don't know that I agree with that. I think they both are pretty sweet myself. Kyle says, I would start a saltwater just for the pistol goby combo. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Local fish store closed in 2 months after you moved there. You could have got some good deals on some stuff. I know one of our local fish stores that was like a mile away from me shut down, and at first they were like 10% off everything, which is stupid, but by the end they were 90% off everything. I don't even know how many fish I bought, but they had them marked down to a penny. Fellow near me is selling them here for $30 each. I think it's about $25 American. Is that a good deal? Is that the L30? Yeah, the L33. $25, that's a pretty good deal as long as they're not like, little 1-inch fry. Yes, Mason, collecting fish in my state is illegal. Danny says his goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers in 2007. He needs 360 more. Do you think I will hit it? That's basically his way of telling me to give Danny's Aquarium a shout out and to go subscribe to his channel. and I support that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said it. I think it's a pretty cool channel. Have you ever tried cooking with garlic guard? No. Should I try some? I have some. Jim Job says, it's sad seeing the mom and pop stores closing down. It is, but at the same time, they got to be doing something wrong. I mean, some of the fish stores that you see that have been around forever, and you walk in and you're like, how is this place even in business? They're so bad, but they're still making money. It makes me wonder why, or what other people are doing wrong when these trash stores can stay in business so long and relatively nice stores go out of business. Fishing with garlic guard. Now there's interesting. I never thought about that. Hey, from Denmark. I don't think I've heard anyone be from... Oh, never mind. I have Denmark. Still cool, though. Merry Christmas to you. Hey Bob, thanks for answering my question. Just to follow up, what do you think the minimum tank size is to do that thing for profit? I mean, you could do guppies in a 20-gallon. You can even do it in a 10-gallon, but I don't think you'll get enough to make it worth it. So at an absolute minimum, a 20-gallon, I think. And that being said, it's also worth it for me because I have really good relationships with like 4 local fish stores. So if you only have one in your area and they're already buying guppies from someone else, that might make it a little tougher. You have a Kyle's Wild World has a store that steals money from its customers. Yeah, see, places like that shouldn't stay in business. Burlington. I know where that is. As long as you're talking about Burlington, Washington. Russell Beach says, Danny, remember us little guys. Yep. You always got to remember the little guys. Yeah, I'm jealous of all the farms you have there in Florida. Who won the aquascaping contest at the Chicago Aquatic Experience? I don't remember. I don't remember. Sorry. There is actually someone who's in a regular of Corey's live stream that did an aquascaping on the 40-gallon in the 40-gallon bracket, and it was awesome. But he didn't even place, and I thought it was definitely a top 3. Sorry, I don't remember your YouTube name. The only 2 people that I know in the aquascaping contest were Rachel O'Leary and Oliver Knott. Obviously, Oliver Knott's going to win because I'm pretty sure they paid him to be there. So you can't really let him win. Burlington, Ontario. Well, now I know where that is too. Definitely a plus having Florida farms in your backyard, so when it rains a lot, do the fish kind of overflow into your yard? That'd be kind of funny. I do have one store, but I could reach out. Yeah, you definitely want to want a good relationship, especially if you only have one store. Joey's friend won, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. Rachel O'Leary didn't get in the top 3. She got best in show. So basically there was the judges that voted for the top 3, and then the fans voted for their favorite, and she won that. She won the fan. Like fan appreciation number. Wait, so she won the fans, which is to be expected. Everybody loves Rachel. Ted Judy had a tank? Did he? I don't remember seeing him working on one. I saw him there. I saw him standing around, but I don't remember seeing him working on one. I stood there for a good hour and a half, 2 hours too. Maybe I just missed it. Oliver Knott is awesome. He's such a good aquascaper. Yeah, it was fun watching him. It was fun watching Rachel O'Leary. She did it with her. She had her whole family there, and they were all working on it. So that was pretty neat. Kyle's Wild World. I'm assuming still talking about the fish store that steals money by overcharging. Yeah, there's a lot of that goes on. Jim Job says, I like the map idea. Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. I know, like, when I'm looking at my analytics, it shows the countries that everyone watches from, and there's like 60 different countries. And honestly, there's some I've never even heard of, which is pretty bad, but yeah, I don't think Ted Judy had a tank. I really don't. Could be wrong, though. Yeah, Joey has an interview with the people that won. Corey has an interview with the people that won. Remember, there was 2 categories, so we may be talking. Ted Judy might have had one in the Nano Aquascaping contest. I'm pretty sure he didn't have one in the 40. What do you, Aaron Stacy says, what do you do for the white stuff on rainbow fish mouths? I don't do anything. Generally, that'll just go away as long as your water is clean. And that's from them just going too fast and bumping into the glass or other stuff in your tank. Richard James says, what's your dream fish, Bob? And I will type that out for you. Some people probably know it by now. Dream fish. There he is. The human Pleco. Hey, Bob. Hey, human Pleco. Christy Carr says, are you going to go to the aquatic experience next year? Probably. So there's 2 shows in November, which makes it kind of tough. One's the big cichlid show in Ohio, which is like a couple weeks after the Chicago Aquatic Experience, which is in Chicago. So I don't know. I was kind of debating on which one I want to go to. I won't be able to go to both unless I quit my job, and that's not going to happen. Caleb says, Bob, are you much of a guppy person like Corey? Definitely not like Corey. The problem is I get too bored of them too fast. And maybe that's because I only have one strain, but oh, he did have a tank. Cole, was it the 40 gallon or was it the nano one? Oh, and the nanoscapes. Okay, that makes sense. I honestly didn't pay too much attention to the nanoscapes because I really don't like them. Sorry. Kyle's Wild World says, I have one good local fish store. One of them I saw in the background shots of Dustin's fish tanks. Nice. That's cool. I got first place. V-Stag says, when is the $1 sale? It starts at Petco on the 26th, and depending on your PetSmart, they may price match, which means they would actually be cheaper at PetSmart. The human Pleco says, feel free to call me Kevin, Bob, and if I remember, if I don't get mad at me. I'm terrible with names. Danny says, I have 4 fish stores near my house, max 5-minute drive. That's nice. I only have 1 within 5 minutes of me. But I have about 6 within an hour of me. Kyle's Wild World says, Petco has theirs in January. It actually starts the day after Christmas, Kyle. Cape Cod says, I have a 55-gallon tank filled with guppies, all different ages. What's the easiest way to pull out ones that I want to sell from my local fish store? If there is an easy way, I don't know it. It's such a pain in the butt. Caleb says, you need to mix some strains, create some new ones. I want to get some new ones, but I don't know that I'd ever mix them. Okay, I would. I think it'd be pretty fun. ACH says, ACH Aquatics, come to the Cichlid Show in Ohio. I'm 1 hour away. Would be cool to meet up with you. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So the Chicago Aquatics experience, while it was fun, it was one of those things that when it was over, I was glad it was over. So, but coming around next year, it'll probably be like, oh, I can't wait to go. And then again at the end, I'll be like, oh, I can't wait to get home. There's a lot of things that, well, it wasn't a lot, but there's a few things that really, really bug me in Chicago. So I don't know if I'd go back. Nick Richard says, "Hi Bob, Merry Christmas. What size can a pike grow to in captivity?" Depends. There's some dwarf pikes, but most of them are going to be pretty large. But there's a few that stay under 6 inches. Dwayne says, "Give me a recommend for setting up wife's 75 gallons. She wants rainbows and shrimp if possible." Sounds good to me. Most likely, if you buy or get rainbows, they're going to be smaller, and if you buy shrimp, they're going to be bigger, so that's the best time to do it. They'll mix really well. Richard James says, "What's the priciest fish you've ever bought?" Probably my zebra plecos. Kyle's Wild World says, "What's the best way to save the most money buying a $1-gallon tanks? Have you heard of any other coupons?" So here's the thing. Petco will charge you sales tax on the full retail price. So like the 40-gallon breeder is $120. They'll charge you tax on that. PetSmart will only charge you, so they'll price match it to $40, and then they'll only charge you tax on the $40. And the other thing is you can do, a lot of times PetSmart will do like 10% off, buy buy this on our website, pick it up in store for an extra 10% off, or $15 off your next $75 order online. So you buy them online, you get that discount, and then you go to the store, and this may not be for every store, but my store will always price match the $1-gallon sale, and then I'll still keep the coupons from buying it online. So last time I got 30 or 40-gallon tanks for like $30. Where did you get your zebra plecos? So there is a guy in Oregon named Albert So who breeds them, and he came up and did a talk for our Aquarium Society. And he's also the same guy that made the goldfish, or the gold face electric blue ram. He was the one that did that, so he breeds a lot of stuff. Makes a lot of fish too. Rudy says, "Just need lots of plants for shrimps to hide." Yep. So if you look at LR Brett's channel, he has a lot of rainbows with shrimp, and they do just fine in his show tank. Yeah, so as long as you got a lot of places for him to hide. Jamie McDonald says, "What was up with Chicago? What didn't you like?" Pretty much all the fish were, okay, not all, but basically half the fish were dead by Sunday. And I didn't even go on Sunday, so they could have all been dead on Sunday, but Saturday evening, they were all floating upside down, trying to stay alive. They didn't keep tops on the tank, so they were jumping out. It was just a lot of dead fish. Richard James says, "Are you into stingrays? Fish, not lights." I really like stingrays, but I don't know that I would ever have a tank big enough for them. Caleb says, "Are you a Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, or Beatles fans?" I would say I hate Led Zeppelin, but out of the other two, I probably like more Beatles songs than I do Rolling Stones songs. Pyrite Queen says, "Have you ever kept turquoise rainbows?" As far as tips and care, they're pretty much the same as all the other rainbows that are all the other I don't know, I can't say the scientific name, but Bosemani, yellow. turquoise. They all pretty much have the same requirements. I actually have a really huge turquoise rainbow right now. Kyle says, I want to breed the zebras. Yeah, it'll take about 2 years to get them to grow out. I'm on year 1. I've had them for a little over a year now, so. Yeah, Megan, it was really bad, and they don't even care. They don't even, like, blink an eye at them. Fish are just swimming upside down. You know, they're gasping at the surface, and they just didn't even care. I just wanted to take a net and scoop them all out. If it was local, I would have just stole them all. Jim Jobs, have to jump off, Bob. Got to get my tanks fed. Merry Christmas. Thanks for stopping by, Jim. Merry Christmas to you, too. My wife is concerned about the dollar per gallon sale. She saw your fish room and said no. Almost at 100 watching. It doesn't tell me, so. Yeah, it still says I'm at 0. I don't know why it does that. There are a lot of things about this live stream I just don't understand yet. Kyle says, I was wondering how they cycled all those tanks. Were they even cycle? Oh no, they just set the tanks up and poured water in them. There was only, so if you look at the first video I had, there was like that big, I don't even know, 300-400 gallon cichlid aquarium, African cichlid tank. That was the only tank I ever saw them do water changes in. On Friday night, on Saturday night, they did huge water changes in that tank. All the other ones, I never saw them doing water changes, which means they were just not cycled at all. Laszlo says, what's the L number for zebra plecos? L046. Brian says, blasphemy. Hope you're not talking about my Led Zeppelin, that I don't like them. Do you have a dream, Catfish Cave, do you have a dream rainbow you wish to keep? I'm not sure. That's a good question. April, shame on you for hating Led Zeppelin. I hate them because they stole most of their songs. None of them are original. Jeez. They're good songs, but they just stole them all and took credit for it. Well, yeah, see, Kyle's Wild World, he's got my back. They stole much music from early blues musicians. Musicians, yeah. See, they stole everything. It's not even their own music. They're like the Monkees in my book. At least the Monkees had somebody else write their music. Working on getting my new 75 gallon from PetSmart while listening. Awesome. I know. Can of worms open with the music questions. I'm sure everyone stole music at some point, but it seems like every single one of Led Zeppelin songs, hit songs, were stolen and went through some sort of lawsuit. Max number of neons, I assume neon tetra in a 32 gallon cube. Really depends on how many water changes you want to do. But max, I don't know, you could do 30 if you wanted to. Brody Stone says, I was one who was wondering if you sold shrimp, plecos, guppies, and it sucks you can't ship. I was very excited. I will be shipping, just not yet. The Police and Eric Clapton stole lots of songs too. It's that whole era. That was really before like copyright was a big deal. So I'm sure almost everyone back there has stole songs. But like I said, definitely Led Zeppelin was the worst in my opinion. IFG is here. Season greetings, everyone. Merry Christmas, IFG. Filthy Phil says, "Hey Bob, how's the husky?" I don't know. Something happened to her on Wednesday where she was just in a ton of pain and wouldn't move, so I had to take her to the ER again. And after about $600 more in testing, they couldn't find anything, and they did go in and look at all of the surgeries she had, and those were all healing up fine. Her bladder, all the tumors they took out, they were all doing well. So we couldn't find the source of the pain without doing neurological testing, which would have been thousands, and I really can't do that. But now she's doing great again, so just that one day, I don't know. Rest in peace, Seahawks kicker. He missed a point after, but really, they would have lost anyways, right? They just would have lost by 2 instead of losing by 3. Cape Cod, how old is your dog? She'll be 10 years next month. Stoke says, I listen to country, so very unlikely anyone is going to want to hear about my musical preference. Kyle's Wild World. What was her issue? Stomach? Oh man, you're going to really get me going on this one. So she had a urinary tract infection. She had kidney stones. Not kidney stones, bladder stones. When they went in to remove the bladder stones, they found just a whole string of tumors, basically like from her neck all the way down to her behind legs. So she has a pretty neat scar now that goes from her neck all the way down. But so yeah, and then the stitches on her bladder opened up when I was at work, so I'm not sure if she got excited and jumped around, or because I was supposed to keep her from stretching or jumping, and so I'm not sure how she managed to do that because I had her confined into one room, but she somehow managed to open up her bladder, and so it was like seeping bile and urine in her stomach, and it was just a real mess. She spent 3 days in the hospital for that. Caleb says, do you know if Led Zeppelin stole the song Kashmir? Not offhand, but I'm sure Google would know. Look, it's the third thing that comes up when you type in Led Zeppelin steal, so they probably did. Let's see, Control F. Uh-oh. I don't know where that's coming from. Stairway to Heaven was obviously ripped off. Well, I don't know. This Rolling Stone article only has their top 10 stolen songs, so it's about all the time I'm going to put into that crappy band. I'm going to lose some subscribers over that. Stop killing fish at fish shows. I agree. I really do agree. But it's the first one I've ever been to, so in all fairness, I don't know if they're all like that. Richard James says, dogs are better than most people. Yeah. So my vet bill total now is $6,700. And, you know, I say the joke's on them because I would have paid twice as much to save her. Brian says, what's your favorite cichlid? Cyphrochromis, Lake Tanganyikan cichlid. Danny's Aquarium says, I have to go. It's 3 a.m. Well, thanks for hanging around, Danny. I appreciate you coming. I know it's late. Dan, what's up, Bob? What's up, Dan? Glad to see you. What happened to Kyle's Wild World? Anoop, he said that he's redoing his channel. I'm going to get sued now, yeah, probably. He said he's redoing his channel. Going to be making a new one. I asked him if he was going to keep the same name, but I might have missed his answer. Maybe he'll answer me again. Are you going to keep the same name? What's the plan for Christmas Day? I'll probably watch a little bit of the live stream, just enough to win my FX4, and then I'll probably be doing a lot of water changes. Brody says, how much would you charge for the guppies, plecos, and shrimp? I don't know. I haven't done enough research to know what I would charge at a resale level. At wholesale, for the guppies, I get $1.50. For the bristlenose plecos, I get $2.50, and for the shrimp, I think I get $1. What kind of dog? It is a Husky German Shepherd mix. Yeah, I'd rather spend time with my dog over most people, that's for sure. Papa says, what cool pygmy dwarf species would you recommend for a community tank? What kind of fish? Didn't I say FX4? That's what I want to win. My FX4. Anyways, cool pygmy dwarf species. It depends. Are you talking rainbows, cichlids? Yeah, I'm not sure. Stokes is leaving. Got to wrap presents. Yep. Thanks for stopping by. I'll probably see you tomorrow for a bit on Corey's live stream. Filthy Phil says pygmy cories. Yeah, pygmy cories are awesome. I never seen mine. I don't know why. They all hang out under the sponge filter. They'll come out when I feed, but that's it. It's kind of weird. Like, quit doing Christmas until my boys give me a grandbaby. Somehow I feel like my mom's doing the same thing. She said no more gifts, but you know, my sister's kids, they're getting gifts, so I think I'm being punished for not having kids. Oh, apparently that's everyone's FX4. Well, what I'm gonna do if I win anything, I'm going to re-give it away or just not accept it. I just want him to draw my name however he's doing it, so I know that I would have won something. But if I actually win, I probably won't take it. I'll let him redraw for one of you guys. Filthy Phil wants to win the $100 gift card to make the 3-hour drive. Where are you at, Filthy Phil? Oregon? Idaho? Eastern Washington? I have a standard poodle and I trained her to find birds. She's a hunting dog. A poodle hunting dog. I don't know that I've ever heard of that before. That's pretty cool. I think it's probably been about 20 years since I've even seen a poodle. Cape Cod Tropical Fish Keeper says, I would rather have a linear air pump to run all my sponge filters and an under gravel filter. Yep, I have a linear air pump. They are awesome. Dan says he's gonna make someone's day when he says that tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna win. I never win anything, but Jack says can't believe the Cardinals beat the Seahawks. They always beat the Seahawks, I feel. Same with the Rams. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost next week too. And the Rams are bad. Do you like jeweled cichlids? I like to look at them. I don't know if I would ever keep them. Maybe one day. They're not on my radar right now though. Didn't the Saints beat the Cards? The Saints put up like 40 points against the Cardinals. But I think the Cardinals also put up almost 40 points against the Saints, if I remember right. Do you like cats? If I ever got a cat, it would be a serval. As far as a house cat, I feel like they cause too much trouble. I like other people's cats because then they're fun for me, but I don't know that I would like to have like a regular house cat myself. But I would definitely have a serval cat. Nick Richards says, it's 2 a.m. I'm off to bed. Night, Bob, and Merry Christmas. Well, thanks for stopping by, Nick. Merry Christmas to you. My leopard frogs are not breeding. I thought they were, but she was just fat. The males are still small for some reason. And I'm currently not breeding any fancy Plecos. The Browns did win today. I had a feeling they were going to, I even said it at work, that the Browns were going to win. Get a Phoenix Fox? I would. I would own a Phoenix Fox. I would also own a skunk. What are your thoughts on Catappa leaves? I don't like them. I finally got some, and I don't know. I just don't like them. I think they make more of a mess than they're worth. Caleb says, got to go. Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Caleb, and thanks for stopping by. Tommy Tank says, Slayer, Cell, Audica, Megadeth, or Pantera. I don't know if I want to get into another music discussion, although I probably just opened up another can of worms by saying Cell, Audica. Hey, Kayla, nice to see you. Christmas Eve's going well. Cause more issues than my 2 pit bulls do. I think I missed that one. Oh, you have 6 cats? Holy cow. You're always hearing about cats having the strangest reasons to go to the vet, too. Like, they're just always doing weird stuff. Don't open Pandora's box. Yeah, that last one. I'll let you guys talk about music if you want. I don't think I'm going to go that route again. Maybe I'm just getting the wrong type of leaves. I feel like when they're breaking down, I'm always having to vacuum that stuff out. What substrate would you recommend in a low light, I'm assuming planted tank? If it's low light, you just regular gravel. If you want to pay for Eco Complete, that's probably going to be the best. Brian Bach says, what's your favorite Pleco? L104. This is a question that comes up every week, and I like it. This is one of the weekly questions I like answering because it's the L397. Your Plecos and shrimp eat them, huh? I've never even seen a shrimp touch the Catappa leaves I put in my tanks. I don't know what the deal is. The L64 Sultan Pleco is also a very nice fish. I think I have 3 or 4 of them. I don't remember. Christy Carr says, my sister does not understand my obsession with fish, and she has 5 cats. I feel like they're both an obsession. I remember going, when I went to PetSmart on Black Friday, they had like these 5-gallon buckets of cat litter on sale, and it must have been really cheap because there was people walking out with like 20 of them, just cartfuls of them. The fly is back. I found the source for the flies, and it's gone. I just found it today. It's kind of my fault. I had one random banana peel behind my monitor, and I keep a lot of junk in here, like stupid hat. My video card is still sitting here, so things do get lost. But it's gone now, so hopefully the flies will be gone in a day. Brian Bach says, what's your view on mystery snails? I like mystery snails. For whatever reason, I'm not doing good with my blue ones. My gold ones are doing great. They're breeding. But my blue ones are just having a tough time. I don't get it. The Guardian says, how do you acclimate your shrimp? Well, apparently you're supposed to drip acclimate them, and I didn't do that in my last 2 videos, and I got yelled at a lot. So the next time I buy fish, I will definitely be, or shrimp, I'll be acclimating them with the drip method. Kayla says, anyone spotting any good sales? I'm looking for Eco Complete substrate, meds, filters. Eco Complete, it's hard to get that cheaper than Amazon. I think it was down to like $22.03 on Amazon. Got to go. Merry Christmas Eve. Thanks, Brody. Thanks for stopping by. Merry Christmas. Sashimi. Sorry if I didn't get that right. Whiskey. I know that one. I know I got that right. Petco $1 gallon sale tomorrow. They're closed tomorrow, but technically Monday. Well, technically tomorrow, but You can't get it till Monday. If you're looking for cheap sponge filters, I think Gemco.com is going to be the best quality for the price, but you have to order like 10 of them to get the discount. Better get back to work. See you later, Filthy Phil. Thanks for stopping by. Back ordered on Amazon. I was just looking at it the other day. I feel bad when I buy it on Amazon and the mailman's my old mailman is struggling to get it up my steps. It's kind of funny. I bought a 40-pound bag of dog food off Amazon, and I really felt bad about that one. Oh, it's 22.06, so I was pretty close. Still pretty cheap. I really like the red Eco Complete. That's probably one of my favorite substrates, just because it's red. Kyle made his first DIY gel food today, and his Oscars swallowed them whole. I have not tried making my own food. Well, that seems like it would be kind of fun. I might have to look into it. Steel Crusher says, do you need to quarantine shrimp? Generally not. They don't carry the same diseases that fish do, so you shouldn't have to really worry about them contaminating your fish. Doesn't say they're back ordered for me though. Free shipping. If I can keep these ghost shrimp alive, I think I'll try cherry shrimp. I think the cherry shrimp are far easier to keep alive than ghost shrimp. That's my opinion. All of my plecos keep dying. What do you think is wrong? Says Brian. The most common reason people can't keep plecos alive is because they're not feeding them. If you have them with other fish, normally not enough food will make it down to the bottom. And also they're nocturnal, so if you're not feeding them at night, then you're also not doing them any favors. I feed all my plecos at night. I think I just got a message. Did anyone else hear that? Oh, just got confirmation from Lucas that he is live streaming tonight. So at least now I know when I'm ending. One more hour. Then we can all head over to LR Bright's live stream. Cameron Ferris, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Can I breed, I know what kind that is, but I don't want to try to pronounce it, Aeneas Cories in a 10-gallon? A lot of people breed their Cories in 10-gallon tanks, so you should be able to. I live close to Amazon warehouse where they have their own delivery truck for my stuff. That would be nice. So you're probably in like, are you in the 2-hour delivery window or are you in the 1 day? I'm still in the 2-day prime. Getting sick of hearing everyone else has 2-hour or 1-day delivery. Kayla, Petco always has Eco Complete for $23.99. That's the regular price. So if you really want it, you just have to pay $1 more, $2 more. Does Gary Lang sell rainbow eggs? Usually to only people that Gary Lang knows. Like he'll sell them to our aquarium club. He sells them to LR Brett's. But generally he won't sell eggs or fish to just random people. Looks like Flynn is back. Welcome back. You don't have Prime? I guess it is $100. And most of the time, everything's free shipping if you spend $35 or $50 anyways. It's just not 2-day shipping. What do you think of the Marina S20 Slim Power Filter? Just saw them today. Cheap and space saving. It's something that I've always wanted to try out, but I've never seen them for sale. like anywhere even close to me, so I've never been able to try them out. But I think they're cheap enough to try out, and if it doesn't work, then you're not out too much money. Fish fan says, best live food for culturing at home. Kind of depends on what you're feeding. The only thing I culture is microworms. Do you like severums? I do, but something that I would probably never keep. Tormod says, why don't you like the Phoenix planted plus 24/7? I feel like the light is on too long, and it's only really off for like an hour, and it's only dark for like 3 hours. And I don't like it because the tanks that I use them on are in my room, so the light's always on. If I used them in my fish room, I would probably like them, but it's too much money to do it in my fish room. It's kind of a waste. So I thought it would be awesome because I have a 75 gallon in my room, and then no, I have a 33 gallon in my room. The 75 gallon is in the spare bedroom. So I have my 33 gallon is in my bedroom with the Planet Plus, and it's just always on. Dan says, I think I might have ick in my 140. What? Do you have white spots on all your fish? I like safe over prime, same thing in powder form, and yeah, it's a way better value. It's the exact same thing, but in powder form and a way better value. The Guardian says, I have a 40 breeder planted rainbow tank. I know you love your rainbows. I do love my rainbows. What kind of rainbows do you have? Caitlin says, what if you just keep the light on a timer on max setting? I could do that too, but that kind of diffuses the point of having the 24-hour feature. I could get the same light output in a cheaper fixture. Like the whole point was having like sunrise and sunset in my room. I thought that was going to be really cool, but turned out it wasn't. Hero Bear King says, how do you get your Java Moss to grow and thrive like in your 55 gallon profit tank? I don't have Java Moss in my 55 gallon. I have Guppy grass, but not Java Moss, and I have it in some of my 10 gallon tanks and a 20 gallon tank, and I don't know that it thrives. It just grows really slow, and that's just the way it is. Dan says, just one spot on one fish that wasn't there yesterday. Is it a really small? It would be like a really small speck if it was ick. Can you explain TDS? It's just total dissolved solids, so basically like your mineral content. I don't know that I could explain it well enough. I know what it is, but like the scientific portion of it, I don't know if I'm qualified to explain it. Is there any difference in quality of buying aquarium salt in bulk? I wouldn't think so if it's the same thing. Why do you go through it like crazy? Arian, turquoise, Bosemani, emerald, all nice rainbows. Have you tried a power filter for the leopard frog breeding tank? Yeah, so there's 2 sponge filters, and I have the AquaClear 50, I think it is, the second to the biggest one on the 40 gallon tank. Can you get rid of hole in the head on discus? That's something that I've never experienced, so I don't know. Sorry, I've never experienced hole in the head yet, knock on wood, so I haven't had to try to treat it. Do you watch anime? I do not. Do you think it's possible to have a guppy ecosystem in a 20 long? If you could find something that would eat the fry, possibly. Maybe like some rams or apistos. Do you know of any salt that can be bought in bulk from a hardware store that will work for hatching brine? Not to my knowledge. Says he watches football. I doubt he watches anime. Huh. I didn't know the two were unrelated, but okay. Jack says, it's awesome that you and Corey sit and answer questions for us. Appreciate it greatly. Yeah, you know, I don't really pick topics, and even like the just general Q&A stuff is fine, but as long as you guys remember that I'm not Corey, and I think, you know, I've been on Corey's live stream like 6 times. I've seen them all, and I've only seen him stumped like twice. So as long as you understand I'm not Corey, I'm just giving you my opinion. And I certainly don't have nearly all the answers that he has. Like, I guarantee you Corey can go into like an hour-long rant on TDS. Nick says, Bob, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Realistically, how many shell dwellers do I need to start a colony, and can I mismatch them? So I started with 9. And now I have, you know, hundreds. As far as mixing them, you could if you had a large enough tank. The problem is that they're all like super aggressive, super aggro. So, you know, if you got like a colony of multis and then you got a colony of like gold ocelotus like I have, I would never want to mix them because the gold ocelotus is such an expensive fish. I would be pissed if the multis killed one of them. What is a reasonable price for a pistos? In my area, it's usually between, depending on the type, usually between $10 and $20 for one. Anyone tell you look like a younger Pruitt Taylor Vince? No, and I don't even know who that is. But let's see. Alright, I could see it probably. I do know who that is. I guess I just didn't know his name. What has he been in? The Mentalist? Yeah, I've seen a few episodes of that. Oh, The Walking Dead. Oh, Otis in The Walking Dead. That's where I know him from. Deadwood. Yeah. I actually probably know him from Deadwood more than The Walking Dead. Oh, he's got quite the resume. That's a lot of stuff. The Guardian says the effort matters, keep it up. Yeah, I mean, so I have all my friends like think it's cool, like all my fish are cool, but they're not fish people, right? They don't have fish tanks, so I just can't sit around and talk fish with them. It's nice to just sit here and talk fish with fish people. Identity was his best. Kyle says, have you ever tried to summon the Corey from the Aquarium Co-op, go into your bathroom with the lights out, say Corey from Aquarium Co-op 3 times, and he will appear in a sponge filter. He will come through your line, that's for sure. Brian says, is there any known cure for multiple tank syndrome? The only cure I know of is getting married. Kevin asks, hi Bob, what is your opinion of the max number of rainbows you can keep in a 75-gallon planted tank? I mean, really, like anything, it just comes down to how many water changes you want to do. I probably have about 30 in a 75-gallon tank, and they're all pretty small still, but as they get adults, I'll probably be doing a lot more water changes. But if you want to do like 50% water changes every week, you could probably put 50 rainbows in there easily. S. Edwards, has anyone been drinking tonight? I'm drinking water. Corey is married and he still has MTS, but Corey makes a lot of money from his MTS, so I'm sure she's just A-okay with it. Well, I know she is, obviously, but marriage doesn't stop MTS. Now, it's not always going to cure it, but it seems like it does a lot. Whiskey says, what do your roommates think about your hobby? They love it. Jules357, hi Bob, just wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas and thank you for everything you do. Well, Merry Christmas to you too, Jules. Thanks for stopping by. Yep, Lucas at LR Bretts is married too. I mean, there's definitely exceptions to the rules, but I feel like more people say if they get another tank, their wife will kill them than more than people say my wife will let me have another tank. This is flavored sparkling water. Steve Edwards says, my name is Steve, I'm 27 from Ireland, I have one 30-gallon Solosci cichlid tank. I probably should get some Solosci again. I keep forgetting to ask Corey how his are doing. Richard James says, are you a gamer? If so, do you play Dark Souls? The only game I play right now is Overwatch, and it's not even that good, but I don't know why I play it. It's addicting. I like that I can just log on and play for like 20 minutes and then log out. I don't have to do any quests, I don't have to spend any time leveling. Don't drink much eggnog, my grandma got run over by a reindeer. How is your sweet puppy? She had something happen on Wednesday. We weren't sure what it is, but she seems to be over whatever that was and is doing a lot better now. But she's still limited, no going up and down stairs, no running. So still on the mend, but so far so good. Root2 says I'm going to play Overwatch after the stream is over. I probably am too. Play the first Dark Souls. Maybe if it's free. Kevin says, I've got a Phoenix 24/7 Planet Plus on my planted 75 tank and really think my plants would benefit from more light. Do you think it's worth doubling down with new 24/7? If it was me, I would do 2 of them. My 75-gallon crypt tank has 2 of them. Well, it did, but I sold them. And Glorious Bettas. If you want to know about Bettas, definitely go check out her channel. My boyfriend asked me to move in by saying, you know, this... Oh, I just lost it. The spare bedroom in my apartment would make a great fish room. Done deal. That's funny. Are you using your phone as your webcam or an actual webcam? I'm using the Logitech C920, I think, something 920. So it's an actual webcam. Why, does it look bad? Does phones look better? That'd be pretty sad. Can you see my questions? What are the fish in the thumbnail? Do you mean my banner? The ones in my banner are Cyprichromis and Bentochromis. The C920 is nice. The 922X they just came out with looks nice too. So the only difference I found was the 922 like cuts out all the background, but I watched like basically a built-in green screen, but when I watched all the reviews, it was pretty bad. So I didn't spend the extra money on it. But as far as like technical stuff, like they're both 1080, so I don't know if the 920 would be better since they're both the same. You look pretty good from where I'm sitting. That's good. So my other live streams weren't on 1080. This is the first time I'm doing 1080. Like back here is kind of fuzzy for me, my no fishing sign. But that's probably just the camera not being able to focus on the deeper dimension. Dwight takes Ray, Jade, Dwight, and Billy. Why don't you fish? I do fish, but there's no fishing in my house. It's kind of a joke. Someone got it for me. Kayla says, "What got you into rainbows?" Seeing adult rainbows. I mean, they're pretty awesome. Steve Edwards says, "What is Corey really like as a person?" He's about as genuine as you're gonna get. So how he is on the live stream is basically how he is in person. There's a lot of people now. I've met quite a few YouTubers, and some of them are quite a bit different in person than how they are in their videos, which is fine. But for the most part, for the people I've met, everyone's kind of how they are on camera is how they are in person. But there's a few that weren't. You should have a tank of cichlids in the background, says Inglorious Bettas. I'm going to do a 33 gallon long. I don't want a big tank because I'm on the second floor and I haven't had it happen yet, but if the seams break, that's a mess I don't want to clean up on a bigger tank. Looks like chat's picking up, so I gotta scroll up, so I just missed a bunch of stuff. K Booker says, "Bob, I watched one of Corey's shorts and he volunteered you to move his office tank." Oh yeah, I saw that too. How hard will that be? Room looks small. It won't be hard. Thankfully, it's an acrylic tank, so it's not going to be bad at all. South to Razor. Yep, there will be a tank behind me eventually. Native Fish Keepers. How's your dog doing? Dog's doing much better. I've seen a couple live streams, and even when the chat is slow, I thought the person couldn't see my comments. No, I see them. I may miss them, but I certainly see them. Southern Fish Keeper says, "Are you back home and glorious?" S. Edwards is really Eric Snowden. That'd be pretty cool. The Phoenix Vivid. I don't know. I'm kind of going away from being a Phoenix fan. I would certainly probably try it, but I don't know how interested I am in spending money on it. That's the new light, right? I'm pretty sure I saw that in Chicago. Yeah, that's the one I saw in Chicago. It seems like just a different Monster Ray. Same thing. Probably better quality because the Monster Ray is not that great either. S. Edward says, "Bob, have you made connections with local breeders?" Yeah, I know a lot of them. But we have a really good aquarium club here, so there's a lot of really good breeders here. How many tanks do you own currently? Set up, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 set up right now. And probably more than that are empty in my garage. Kayla says, "Any advice on starting a fish club?" No. Sorry. I don't know that that's something that I would want to start. So I don't know that I have any advice for you, but I don't know, where are you from? Do you think there would be interest? I guess you could kind of gauge by how many local fish stores you have, and if you're like me and you have a lot of them, then maybe that's something that you could get off the ground. Which soccer team do I support? I am from Seattle, so I support the Sounders. As far as like Premier League, I don't know that I have a favorite. If I had to choose between African and South American cichlids, I would choose African, simply for Lake Tanganyikan species. She's in Florida? I feel like there would be a lot of fish clubs in Florida. Hey, Carlos. Nice to see you. Merry Christmas, if it's Christmas where you are. I think it's getting pretty close. Oh, yeah. You see, you're going to be all about saltwater there. I didn't think about that. Hi from Sweden. Merry Christmas, Skane. Might be my first person that says they're from Sweden. I really need to keep track of this. Do you keep Tropheus dubosii? I do not. Corey does from Aquarium Co-op. He has some. Richard James is now asking if I see his questions. Did I miss it a couple times? Are Eheim canisters worth the price for you? Not to me. Sorry I missed your question. I don't think most canister filters are worth the price though, so it's not simply Eheim. Dwight takes Ray J, Dwight, and Billy. Do you breed shrimp? I breed cherry shrimp, I breed blue pearl shrimp, and I'm hoping that my yellow shrimp are going to start breeding soon. Hero Bear King, do you keep Apistos? I have Apistogramma huskars, I have Apistogramma cockatoides orange flash, I have the Apistogramma benchii. I think that's all I have for now. I used to have the Borellii blue and the Borellii opal, but I sold both colonies of those. But I think the benchii, it's called like the Inca 50. Those are still my favorite. Bob, you want to snorkel on the Great Barrier Reef? I would. Have you seen the new Flubel Pure tanks? Not yet. Flubel Pure Aquarium. That may take some research because even Google doesn't know what that is. I'll have to look into that. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget. Flubel Pure. Okay, Flynn says, hey, I just hit 350 subs. Awesome. Yeah, 350. I say, Flynn, if you ever come down and go to Aquarium Co-op, you should let me know. Maybe we could do like a video. We can like bombard Corey. I don't know, do something. That'd be pretty neat. Carlos says, what are your thoughts on keeping just a few multis in a 10-gallon or a 20-gallon? They would do good in a 20-gallon long. I kept them in a 9-gallon long, and they all killed themselves, or they all killed each other except for like 2 of them. So it wasn't very sweet. Bob, what's your favorite Christmas movie, Elf or Die Hard? I like Die Hard better than Elf, but I really don't. I didn't really like Elf. I'm probably like the only ones, but I wasn't too impressed with Elf. But at the same time, I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan. Doug says, in your 55 fish for profit, how many BM Pleco adults do you keep? There are 2 females and 1 adult male. And one adult male and the female are albino, and then one of the other females is just a regular chocolate. Merry Christmas from New Zealand. Awesome. Merry Christmas. Oh, Manchurian Play Place. I don't know why I can never say that name. Play Place. Merry Christmas, buddy. I think I missed a bunch. Sorry. The Guardian says I use sponge filters and all, but one of my tanks still the best filter. I agree. Sponge filters are my favorite. Oh, I guess I missed the second part of your question about your adults, or bristlenose plecos, adults or babies. Depends. I like to enjoy, or I enjoy seeing my fish grow, so I like to buy them young. And I think it's a lot better value. You get more out of your fish. Southern Fish Keeper is in New Orleans, and everybody's into saltwater. Yep. I'm surprised there's not a bigger saltwater following up here. Everything up here is like nano tanks. Freshwater planted nano tanks. Hasn't this Lizos gaming guy, hasn't he been kind of timed out a few times now? I went to a local pet supplies today for cat food, came home with 13 quarries. Awesome. I love corridors. What kind did you get? Just surprise Corey and do a double. The trick is getting him when he's actually at the store. You hate to try to surprise him, and because for Flynn that's probably like a 3-4 hour drive. For me it's only like 45 minutes. Interesting. Any other mods on today? I think Laura finally made it on, so she's a moderator. Oh, did we already lose Manchurian's place? Sorry if I missed you. I'm kind of behind on the chat. I think I'm just going to ban this guy. I'm pretty sure he's been... Well, maybe he was already banned. Southern says, I've had salt but made the switch to fresh about 11 years ago. I'm going to try another saltwater tank eventually. Oh, and Laura, sorry, I didn't mean to like pass over you, but thanks for stopping by. Glad you made it. Merry Christmas. Oh, yeah, Cole's here too. He's probably too busy looking at his awesome fish tanks, though. His massive fish tanks. Well, I kind of know his schedule, but I kind of feel bad because he doesn't, he always gets kind of tackled down at his store, and everyone always wants to talk to him, and I can talk to him pretty much whenever I want, so I don't like to waste his time at the store when other people are there to see him. Oh, sorry, Manchurian. I thought I missed maybe saying you were leaving. Maybe I got you mixed up with someone else's comment. D Nice says, hello everyone. Can I get an opinion on the best heater to get my 75-gallon freshwater? I'll let someone else chime in with that because I generally don't use heaters. Laura, are you a mod? Laura is a mod. Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of just as bad as long as you don't go with the super cheap ones. KG Tropical, open the fluval tank. I kind of want one of those new fluval tanks. Oh, Kayla, let him open one gift. It's just one. Yeah, Flynn. If when I go to a store, that's all people. And then when he's in his other like stock room, and you're in the store, and people are always like, "Where's Corey? Where's Corey? Is Corey here?" And then people call on the phone, and they won't talk to anyone unless it's Corey. Dan says, "I'll take a pic of the Fluval Pure Monday." Awesome. Kyle, you were a mod. I wonder if deleting your or canceling your little channel probably unmodded you, because you were a mod last time. Bob KG opened the new Fluval. Oh, isn't that the Fluval Edge, not the It's not the it's something else. It's not the Pure. At least not here. It's not the Edge. It's something else. Fluval Flex. That's what it is. That's the one that John got. Aquarium Pro heaters are still pretty decent. Probably one of the better ones. Which public aquarium or aquarium store from anywhere in the world would you like to visit? The one that Dustin uploaded to his channel, the one in Germany, I think it was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. But I think Germany probably has some of the better fish stores, with Japan a close second. Gee, do you get tired of hearing about Corey? This is your channel. No, because Corey's my friend. Manchurian says, I don't have any canister filters. Too expensive for me. Yep, I finally got my second one on Black Friday, but it's still in the box. Still debating. I might sell it. Laura says, Kyle, dude, I'm missing your vids, punk. Yeah, you should have just started a new channel. You didn't have to delete your current one. You had some good content on there. Everyone is just subbing Kyle's Wild World and he deletes his channel. Come on, man. Yeah, Whiskey, I got the same FX6 on Black Friday for $170. What are veggies you recommend for plecos? I only feed my bristlenose plecos. I only feed French cut green beans and cucumbers. There's a lot more that people use, but those are the ones I use. All Brian wants for Christmas is a Red Ryder BB gun. I never had one of those as a kid. Yeah, I got a cheap one off of eBay, and it works awesome. But they're just kind of a pain to clean, and I don't like it. How many rainbows do you think you have? Hundreds and hundreds. Maybe just hundreds. Maybe just 200. The 33 gallon that's in my bedroom, I use Hamburg Matten filters, so there's really no bubbling sound. But I guess technically it's a sponge filter, but it's not your typical. Richard James says, did you get out of the gun hobby? I did not. I just don't talk about it on this channel because this is a fish channel. And some people don't like guns, so, which, that's fine too, so I just don't talk about it here. Blanched zucchini, yeah, that's the other one. I've never used it, but a lot of people swear by it. But, cucumbers and French cut green beans work for me. Manchurian says, I think Sun Sun gets kind of a bad rap for being Chinese. I don't know, they have a really good reputation in my area. Megan Gray says, alright, I've got to go. Peace out, Lake Trout, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, Megan. I like lake trout. Do you ever catch fish from the wild? That's how I got into fish keeping. So I did it once, and then I learned it was illegal. You have had the occupied Chipotle thing there too, huh? Can I run 2 tanks off 1 canister filter? I think that would be kind of a pain in the butt. Are you going to try an 8-hour live stream? My live stream is, oh man, time goes by so fast. My live stream is over in 13 minutes, but then we can all hop over to LR Brett's Aquatics, because his live stream starts in 13 minutes. Richard James again asks, what is your favorite 9mm? And again, we're talking about fish here. Everything is illegal in the US. It's sure getting that way. Please repeat whose live stream is next. I will do you one better, and I will link his channel. Maybe. Going to go to, it's LR Brett's Aquatics, but I will link it for you. There it is. There you go. And that starts in 12 minutes, 7 p.m. Pacific my time. Oh, thanks for subbing. Really appreciate it. Are crayfish legal in your state? They are not. We have them in our state, but they are illegal to own. Which really sucks because I want the marbled crayfish for my puffer. I have an endless supply of crayfish to feed them. B says, what a great Christmas Eve. Thanks, Bob. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and to everyone else. Tommy Tank says, for plecos, do you just load a community tank with lots of plecos to breed them? No. I have to specifically have 1 tank for breeding my bristlenose plecos, and when my more exotic plecos get big enough, I'll have a specific tank for them too. Kyle has marble crayfish, but no babies yet. I can pretty much guarantee I'm gonna get some eventually. Manchurian says, I used to catch endless crayfish. Yeah, we catch them. When we go fishing, we catch them all the time. Have you ever bred zebra plecos? Says Anthony. No, I have not, but I'm growing out 6 of them. It'll probably be at least another year until they're big enough to breed. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's illegal in Washington that just doesn't make sense because none of it would survive in our water, like arowanas. But they're pretty much illegal everywhere, but they shouldn't be here because they're not living in our water. I just read the other day that in Canada, possessing any part of a native bird of prey, dead or alive, is illegal. Wow. Do zebra plecos come out like at all? So mine didn't, but I've had them for about 7 or 8 months now, maybe longer, maybe a year. Maybe. And they're just now coming out, but they've grown quite a bit, so I think they're just getting more confident as they get bigger. Jim says, I've heard zebra plecos take 4 to 5 years to mature. Yeah, they take forever. How big are my zebra plecos? Maybe 2.5 inches, 3 inches. When I got them, they were probably 1.5 inches. So they've probably doubled in size in the year that I've had them. Jamie says, who enforces these laws and what are the penalties? I don't know. So the Fish and Wildlife enforces them. And here, even taking like antlers, if you find antlers that have been shed in the wild, and if you take those and get caught, it's a $5,000 fine. So you really can't take anything. Why? I just got a message from Michael's Fish Room, and I'm going to say, why are you not in my live stream? I just called you out on my live stream. Take that. Man, you have the dumbest laws. I agree. That's because we have the dumbest politicians. He says he's got to do dad duties, putting little ones to bed. Alright, I'll accept that. Merry Christmas to you, Floyd. Have you bred bronze corridoras? I have not bred any corridoras. Timmy Tank says, how long does it take Alto Lamprologus calvus to grow to breeding size? Probably 2 to 3 years. Like the soonest. They take forever too. Chris says, what size do you wait till you sell your bristlenose plecos? It really depends on how many I have. Kind of the agreement I have with my local fish store is I get $2.50 per, no matter the size. So if I have a couple batches of them spawn, as soon as they'll get the minimum size I sell is 1.5 inches. Once they're there, I'll just take like 100 of them in. Your state's honor has been offended. California clearly has the dumbest politicians. Yeah, I don't know how anyone could live in California. That state is just terrible. My red bristlenose pleco bred again yesterday. Yeah, I'm growing up some fry. My favorite South American cichlids are Epistogrammas. Santa's coming down the chimney in his fish room. California is known to cause cancer in the state of California, yeah? Yeah, there's a lot of places in California that are nice, but every time I've gone there, I've just hated it. Yeah, I mean, everything, California has some nice wildlife, but I mean, I was even disappointed in the San Diego Zoo, and everyone says how awesome that place is. But I even hated that place. Mohawk cichlid awesomeness. That's one of the reasons I like Apistos, and some of them give really sweet mohawks. What are your thoughts on breeding illegal fish to prevent poachers from stealing mass quantities in the wild? I don't know that it would help. I don't know. I don't know that that would be a good way to prevent poaching. Omaha Zoo is the best? I'll have to look it up. A few people telling me that Omaha Zoo rocks. I've always wanted to keep Borellii pistos. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have sold the 2 different color morphs I had, but you know, people really want them, and they're willing to pay for them, so I usually end up selling them. Yeah, That's kind of the thought there, Manchurian, punishing the consumers. I mean, they definitely should be punished just as much as the poachers. Kyle wants to breed some Apistos. Yeah, it's not very hard. Thanks, Ben. Merry Christmas to you, too. Jamie says, how do you get cucumbers to sink for the plecos? You boil them, or what's known as blanching. There he is. See, we called him out on camera, and then he showed up. Look at the power. Such power we have. Laura, you need some more tanks. Are you doing the $1 sale? I would hope so. I think she needs more too. I said this punk Michael is talking to me on Facebook, but he's not even in my live stream. No, I didn't say that. When Bob calls, the world answers. I don't know. Last time I said Aquarium Co-op once, and Corey showed up. This time I said it like at least 15 times, and I haven't seen him once. I'm losing my powers. Billy needs a bathroom break before Lucas. Yeah. He usually starts at about 7:05 though, so I'm hoping I get about 5 minutes. Yeah, we need to get Michael to do some live streams. Laura needs a 75. I agree. The future tank behind you, maybe a big flower horn or Trimax. Honestly, they're not my favorite. Big Central American, South American cichlids are not really my favorite. If I did one, it would be the Haitiensis or something like that, the black nasty cichlid that we talked about last week. Picked up a Mr. Aqua 22 gallon for $15. Wow. That's a score right there. Oh, Michael's up to 40, huh? Got me beat. Got me beat by a long shot. Not if we count all the ones in my garage, though. I probably have 40 tanks in my garage alone. But I'm not going to count them because they're not set up. Hearing you guys talk about prices is painful. Yeah. Amazing how expensive they are everywhere else but here. Christmas Eve, I'm sure Corey is busy prepping for his epic live stream tomorrow. Yeah, that dude's always working. Bend, Oregon? Oh, I've been there plenty of times. Alright guys, that's pretty much the end. We're at 7 o'clock. We gotta head over to Lucas's live stream, LR Brett's. I'll link it again if you guys want to go hang out. The dude knows way more than I do, so he'll be able to answer a lot more questions. Merry Christmas to everyone. Thanks for showing up. Laura, better late than never, even though it was a couple minutes. Thanks for coming on. Watching Bob with one eye and Gremlins with the other. Yeah, I'm still trying to find a best time to do live stream. My 3 o'clock live stream was kind of a complete mess, so I don't know if I'll do 3 o'clock again. It's too hard. I get off work at 2 and it's just too difficult. But yeah, still playing around with the times. This seems like a good time, but I don't know. We'll see. But Michael, the pup's doing a lot better. Thanks for asking. She's recovering. And yeah, I'm going to cut it off now so we can get rolling on Lucas's live stream. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for stopping by.